friends. I think I'm live. Do we have anybody on this morning? I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes and see if we have anybody that comes on. If you are joining me this morning, I see there's one. If you're joining me this morning, please say hello. Hey, Jen. Good morning. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Good. Hey, Diane. Nice to see you this morning. Yay! I love to see my friends on Fireside Chat, and I've rearranged my room again. Can you believe that? Can you see this? It's different. We just keep improving how I use this space. How you doing, Diane? I can't read that. So see. Oh, my hair looks good. Oh, thank you. I'm still kind of experimenting with the hair thing. I'm not used to doing anything other than throwing it up on the top of my head, and so I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm going to see if I can move this just a little bit closer. I can hardly see you guys. So that's better. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, thank you. Yes, I actually really love the change in my room. So the upstairs in our townhome is a pretty big room. And I've taken, I had a room divider in here, and I have literally divided the room in two sections. Like, they are completely separated. Hi, Eve. Good morning. I'm glad you could join us this morning. I know there's a couple more people on too. I can see there's 5 or 6 people on. So if you're on this morning and you haven't said hello yet, please do, so I can greet you and say good morning to you and see who's on and who's joining us today. But I was saying about the room, it's so cool because I have kind of a sitting room, and even I'll have a bed up here in a couple of days where I can sleep when I have company, and they can have my room downstairs where it's a little more comfortable. And then the other side is art, and I've got things set up to be able to do. Hi, Joy. Nice to see you this morning. I'm glad you could join us. So the art room is getting ready for big reveal. Our workshops online. They are coming. The next newsletter is coming out on Tuesday morning. And if you are on the email for the newsletter, you'll be getting it Tuesday morning. It's going out at 10 o'clock and in the morning at Eastern time. If you're not on the email list, but you'd like to get updates, please let me know. Give me a private message on Facebook, or you can email me, GailRuthPeterson@gmail. And hi, Pam. Nice to see you this morning. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I was a little bit fooled. I went outside with my dog today. The sun was out. The sky was pretty. It looked like it was going to be amazing out. And I went out without gloves or anything, and I went out, it was freezing. So I'm hoping that it warms up a little bit today, because it sure is pretty out there. It really makes me want to have spring come right around the corner. But it will come soon enough, I guess. But I do want to get you excited about what is coming. So I've done some brainstorming with a number of people, and I think we have come up with an amazing plan to do art workshops, and they will be online. They will be private. There'll be private art classes with you and your loved ones, and it's going to be really, really fun. So that is coming. It's something you can look forward to. A lot of people have said, do you do art workshops, or when are you going to do them? Well, it's taken time to get things organized here. And, I've had a lot going on in my life over the last 13 months. So It has been a bit chaotic, but things are settling down, and we're getting ready to do them. So, if you've been following me on Facebook, you can see, oh, hi, Karen. I didn't see you there. Yeah, it's too cold for me too. If I had my druthers, I'd be living out in the Caribbean somewhere. I want to move to Belize. Yeah, I just recently did some research on this country, and I would really love to reside there, at least during the winter. Be awesome. But maybe that's somewhere down the line in my future. I don't know. But anyway, so if you followed me at all on any of my posts this past week on Facebook, you will see that I have had my word for this week, choice, choose, decision. Those are my words. And I have had a revelation in this area, and I just had to share this with you this morning, and I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear how this plays out in your own life, or how you need it to play out in your own life. But I've been reading a book. I think it's called Get Out of Your Head. And I've been reading this book in pieces, little tiny bit at a time. And the other night I couldn't sleep. So I decided it was time to read a little bit more of this book. So I was reading, and I don't really even remember the exact statement that she made, but it just suddenly hit me like a light bulb went on. This isn't really new. It's not new to me. It's probably not new to you, but I'm hoping it will be if we talk about it this morning, because it is absolutely crucial. It is pivotal to us living a peaceful, joyful, full, and vibrant life. I can see that it has completely changed me just having this light bulb go off this week. So the light bulb was, I was kind of worried, riddled. I had a lot of anxiety over something in particular in my life. And it has been waking me up in the middle of the night. Or it had been waking me up in the middle of the night, and keeping me from really getting a good night's sleep. I've even had a psoriasis breakout, which I haven't had in a few years, which is kind of weird. I know it's stress related from this anxiety that I've had. And when this came to me the other night, it just dawned on me. I have a choice. I do not have to replay in my head decisions that I made or decisions that I have to make. I don't have to. So let me tell you how it's changed my thinking since that day, because that was a few days ago. And I find myself every day now thinking, what decision do I need to make here? Like, if something comes up and I need to make a decision, I think about it logically. I separate myself from it so that my emotions aren't, hanging on like a rope, and make a decision. And then you know what? When the decision is made, I live by it. Decision made, done. No more need to replay. No second guessing. You made the decision. You live with it. It was really that simple. It is that simple. And I don't think I'm alone you tell me if you do this, okay? You either find it difficult to make a decision, or you make a decision and then you find it hard to live with the decision. Can anybody relate to that? Put a comment in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about, and you find it hard to just get on with living without replaying, what should I do? Or did I do the right thing? maybe I should have done this. What if? You know what? It is a life sucker. It sucks the life out of us when we do that. Yeah, you can relate, Jen. Awesome. Look, I can see. I can see that there are people yeah, you sometimes organize over things, I agonize over things. Yes, it's so easy to do. And I don't think that we've been trained as people to understand, one, we don't have to do it. And we if we make a decision and then along the way we see it wasn't the right decision, guess what? Decide to do something else. It's that simple. It is that simple. The idea here is, yeah, I love it. Amber, absolutely. We need to make a decision. When we need to make a decision, we make the decision. We live with that. We just have confidence that we made the best decision for that particular time at that particular time. That's the key. Okay. We have to remember, like, rather than beating ourselves up for doing something or making a decision that wasn't good or wasn't right or whatever, when we look back, the one thing that we have to remember is we made the best decision that we knew to make in that moment. It's not that we choose to make bad decisions, right? So in that moment, it's the best decision that we know for that moment. And we have to have grace. The scriptures tell us that his grace is sufficient. Okay. Look, even my dog is happy about all this. And yeah, it does suck the joy out of us when we second guess the choices that we've made. We just need to be confident. And like I said before, if we make a decision and it's not a good one, it's okay. So what? Choose a different one. It's okay. I love my business coach, Rebecca, often will tell me, you know what? If you make a decision and you just find that it just not working out the way you thought it was going to, change it up. There's no rules. You make the rules, girls. You make the rules. And you make the decisions. God has given human beings the ability to assess, reflect, and choose. And yeah, we want to partner with God in those things. Absolutely. I'm not talking about making decisions on our own and not yielding or being humble or open or having a lack of willingness to follow God's direction for our life. I'm not saying that, but a lot of times people will agonize over, I don't know if this is God's will. 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 I've done it. I've done it for years. Okay. And I know others have done it because people have said that to me. Okay. So here's how we battle that. Here is how we battle that. We go into prayer. We talk with the Lord. And we make a decision based upon how we believe the Lord is leading us. And we can even pray. If I'm not understanding that if this is not the best choice, then I'm trusting your grace is sufficient enough for me, God, that I will see that and I can change it around. It doesn't have to be hard. This doesn't have to be hard. Yes, I love that. I love that, Amber. We can accept the consequences. It doesn't have to be like, even if we make a decision and it's not, we realize afterwards, maybe that wasn't the best thing. Like, I have a million ideas. If you guys know me, my brain is an idea machine. It shoots out ideas all day long. Okay. And some of them I act on, or I like to say I knock on the door. So I get an idea, I knock on the door. Is this one going to work? Nope. Okay, scratch it off. It's gone. Or hey, this seems to be working. And you know what? That's okay. I would rather live that way than hold back all the time out of fear. Be adventurous. Make decisions that, are just, it's okay to make a decision. First of all, it's just okay to make a decision. You could choose. And you can choose. This is what hit me the other night. You can choose whether you want to be full of joy or full of fear. Believe it or not, it is a choice. And it's not to say that you won't feel fear. You will. It's not to say you won't feel grief. It's not to say you won't feel brokenness. Okay, you will. God's given us this ability to have emotion, but those emotions, when we separate ourselves from them but acknowledge them, we can acknowledge why they're there. They are the things that help us make the decisions that we need to make. And when the decision doesn't turn out exactly the way we thought, decide something else. Make the decision and then go on living. Go on living. And that is the choice. Can we choose, make decisions, and then choose to keep on living? I didn't see what yours says here. I hope it's okay to put this up, Jen. All our choices happen for a reason, even the bad ones, even if it was for someone else's sake and not our own. Yeah, we have to remember we're not going to make, all our decisions aren't going to be perfect, ladies. And that's okay. It's okay. Some of them may have a devastating result. I'm not going to deny that can happen. Absolutely, it can. But in that, I mean, my first husband and me, we made a decision to start a business. It was something that we had dreamed about for years. We made the decision to do it. In the process, we lost our home. There were situations that happened after we made that decision, and we made certain commitments in that. And there were things that happened after those commitments and decisions that we did not see coming. And over time, we just got so broke that we lost our house. Now, was it wrong that we made that decision? I don't know, but I'm not going to agonize over that at all. Because what I go back and I look at is in that story, in that whole season, from the time that we made the decision to the time that we lost our home and all of that, okay, I look back and I think, what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about God? And you know what? I wouldn't trade what I learned in that season of my life for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything, because it has made my foundation for life even stronger. It's made it a sturdier foundation for me to live on. And that's the word, live. Living to the absolute fullest, which we cannot do. We cannot do if we are still agonizing over past decisions or agonizing over, are we making the right one now? Let me see. I got Pebbles here. Pebbles, incorrect decisions do not define us. Absolutely. They teach us. Absolutely. The past is the past, and you can decide something new. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely amazing? There's no rules. There's no rules, ladies. There's nothing that says if you choose to do one thing and then all of a sudden you change it back. I made the decision a few months after Mike died. I was going to pursue what I was really passionate to do. That meant having to make a lot of changes. It meant stepping out in faith. And in the process of trying to figure out what that was supposed to look like, I thought certain things might happen before they did. I thought that I was going to go in one direction, and you know what? They didn't work out. They just, as I began to pursue them, they didn't work out. So does that make me look like she's an airhead and she wants to do this, that, and this, and then she doesn't follow through? No, it just means that I made decisions. I was trying this, I was trying that. I'm experimenting, I'm exploring. That's it. So what? Those were all good things to do for me, because they have made the path that I'm taking even more firm. I had to eliminate, I had to experiment, I had to explore the things all things, so that the ones that didn't work, the ones that aren't part of the plan, they could just be pushed aside. And I don't have to worry about what that makes me look like. I don't have to worry about, am I doing the right thing? I'm not, the last couple of nights I have slept all night long. I've slept all night long. I've had peaceful, restful sleep. And I'm not agonizing, because I am just owning up to whatever my decisions are. And I am being wise as I know how to be in a given moment, to make a decision that needs to be made in that moment. And I'm owning it. And if it's not the right decision and I can make something different, I move on. I change it. It's okay. But the area that I think we get the most tripped up on is choices in our thinking. Because it's one thing to say, let's make choices about things in our life. I have to make a decision here, make a decision, live up to it. Okay, that's fine. But then there's other things that we have to choose, like not agonizing over the decision, not allowing fear to own us, to grip us. This idea of choice for me this week has absolutely helped me see freedom that I've never, ever experienced before. I mean, I don't know, maybe you can even just hear it in the tone of my voice, because I just feel like freedom has absolutely filled my soul. And you're right, Amber, not making a decision is also a choice. You're absolutely right. Thinking it's best to make your own choices. Yeah, I love that. Not making a decision is also making a choice. You're right. You're right. And that can paralyze us. We're not meant to be paralyzed, y'all. We're not. We're not meant to be riddled with worry and anxiety. And the way we combat that is just making a decision, owning it, being confident with it, and being okay with changing our mind later on when we see that maybe the decision wasn't the best. So what? Go on. What I'm finding is that this way of thinking, this approach to life, is helping me see what it means to live in the moment, to be here today, to enjoy my little dog. See my little dog sitting right here, just enjoying me, just enjoying just sitting here next to me. He just loves it. You're a sweet boy. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, and I love this too. You're right, Amber. We have to, living in the moment, living in the day, living to the fullest, is having the discernment to make decisions based on what we know and what we believe is best in that moment, and trusting God forgives, God teaches, and God redirects, and it's okay. If we make a decision that we look back and we wished we had done something else, the thing that's cool is that in doing that helps us to learn how to do it different, if that makes sense. And so in that way, making a bad decision isn't a bad decision, because it's all part of our continuous transformation. It's all part of it. There's no way that we can continue to transform and become more like Jesus Christ if we can't see the things that have to change in ourselves. Because while God can change them, he calls us to have a partnership with him in that. So again, that requires us to make a choice. It requires us to see what is working and with him change it. Pretty simple. What do we have here? I got another comment here. My biggest problem is learning to deal with poor decisions that other family members make. And then I feel obligated to clean up the mess. Yeah. Oh, Pam, believe me, I have been there countless times. I was going to say millions. I'm not saying millions because it might not be millions, but it can feel like millions at times. And I 100% agree with you. And I think in that kind of situation, again, we have to step back and ask God, what's my responsibility? Is it my job to fix the situation? Sometimes we are called to step in. We are called to be servants. We're called to serve one another. And sometimes stepping in to help is the best way to be Christ in someone else. It's the best way to show the grace and forgiveness that the Lord has for us. And sometimes that's really good for us to do for the other person and for ourselves. But at other times, it's not. And it is for us to make that discernment. I remember, probably 11 years ago or so, I made a decision related to something that was going on in my family. It was really, really hard to make the decision that I made. And to this day, I could still question, was it really the right thing? Did it have the best long-term results? But here's the thing. In that moment, I truly made the decision that I felt was the best one for all of us. And I can't go back on that. And I have to trust that God's grace is sufficient enough, even in the decision that I made. But does it serve me or the rest of my family well today if I keep dwelling on that? Absolutely, it does not. It does not. And we can be set free from that by choosing to be. A number of years ago, I remember being riddled with shame over something. And there were people that held that over my head for a while. And I was very, very torn about it. And there was a particular week that I was really riddled with grief over it, and just shame, and just not knowing what to do. And one day, while I was just crying my eyes out and just asking the Lord, what am I supposed to do with this heavy burden that I continue to carry? And I just felt like the Lord said to me in one moment when I came up for air, why are you crying? I have forgiven you. I've wiped your slate clean. We're done. Why do you keep holding on to it? Why do you keep going back for it? And it's the same with decisions. You can't change it, but he forgives us so that we're free, so that we can live. Because the day that counts for us is this one. And we have been set free, and we continue to be set free from all of the things that keep burdening us and weighing us down and keeping us from truly living. Yes, and I'm slowly learning to just give it to God as well. And part of that is choice and giving it to God without afterwards making the decision to take it back. Whether that be guilt, regret, or just I'm going to take matters into my own hands. And it could be any one of those things. So I hope that this has been a feast, a feast to digest for all of you. I continue to digest this. I'm continuing to see just the many, 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 many layers that this needs to play out in my own life as well. And to really see how choices are the thing that will help me to serve others better, worship God more wholeheartedly, and live the full life serving Him that He's called me to in this life, in this world. So I hope that has been good food for thought, and reflect on that this week. And I'd love to hear from you throughout the week as well, that as you ponder this and really allow it to play out in your life, I would love to hear how it's changing your own thinking and how it's changing your own ability to live a full life and to be set free from anxiety and worry and guilt and the what ifs. Because we're truly not meant to live there. We're truly not. And I hope that you all have a great weekend. I hope I hear from you in the next few days or during this week. I would really love that. And I love you all, and I really appreciate you coming on, whether you've come on live this morning or whether you're on the replay this week. I would love to hear from you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to hop on this morning, whether it's on the replay or not. And I hope that you all have a great weekend, and that you absolutely know this week that you are loved. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. Hey, boy.